everyone, welcome back to yet another political episode. So today's video is a little different. Tonight, we will be projecting the official presidential election results of 2024 in the exact order. Now, there isn't really a real order. I mean, each news station projects states at different times. Like, for instance, Newsmax called Georgia and North Carolina way an hour before, or 2 hours in this case, just hours before all the other news stations did. And what we're going to do is we're going to study those different projections at different times and form our own said presidential election timeline. And this goes with official. So in order to make it official, every news station out of the 6 news stations has to call every state in order to add it on the map. These 6 news stations include CBS News, Fox News, CNN, ABC, MSNBC, and PBS. So some of these stations like CNN, PBS, MSNBC, we'll have to skip around. I imagine it won't be as long. It looks really hard, but I've watched these forecasts before. It's easy to navigate around. So let's begin. This might be a lengthy video on how much watching we'll have to do, but I guess you already know looking at that bar down below. So let's go ahead and get started. Starting with CBS in their first projections of the night.
In Kentucky, CBS News projects Donald Trump wins the bluegrass state, where voters have picked a Republican for the last 6 elections. In Vermont, CBS News projects Vice President Harris wins the solidly blue state. Polls have closed in Indiana, one of the reddest states in the Midwest, and CBS News characterizes this race as likely Donald Trump. And let's take a look at Virginia. It's still early, but CBS News characterized this as lean Democrat. It has been 2 decades since a Republican clinched the Commonwealth. Let's take a look now at South Carolina. Polls also closed there. CBS News rates this race as lean Republican. Palmetto State, a reliably Republican state for candidates there, and it goes to Donald Trump. The big number tonight, 270. That's the number of electoral votes needed to win. With those early results, the race to 270 show in West.
Okay, therefore, that's CBS. Leave it right here. This is our official map for CBS. Let's take a look at Fox News now.
The Fox News decision desk is making its first calls. The most closely watched state at this hour is Georgia, one of 7 battleground states that could decide the presidency. That one obviously is too early to call.
And we'll dig into those numbers soon. It's also too early to call Virginia, though Vice President Harris has a lead in our Fox News voter analysis, waiting for the raw vote total to dump there. Fox News can project that former President Trump will win the state of Indiana.
Trump will also carry nearby Kentucky for a 3rd time, and it is too early to call the state of South Carolina. But former President Trump has the lead there, according to our Fox News voter analysis.
Meanwhile, Vice President Harris will sail to victory in liberal Vermont.
Okay, there. So obviously, I wish they had the map down, but let's take a look at CNN. And we're got this one. Thank goodness we got this guy right here. He's posted the times. Perfect.
Most voting is ending there right now. And CNN can bring you a projection now. CNN projects that Kentucky goes to Donald Trump. Donald Trump will win the Commonwealth of Kentucky with its 8 electoral votes. And CNN can also project that Vermont will go to Kamala Harris with its 3 electoral votes. Kamala Harris wins the state of Vermont. It is too early to project in Georgia, Indiana, South Carolina, and Virginia. Let's take a look at the electoral map now to see where the candidates stand. 270 electoral votes are needed to win. Donald Trump has 8. Kamala Harris has 3 electoral votes. Let's bring you a key race alert now.
Okay. That, of course, is... Now let's take a look at ABC. This is going to be difficult. Okay, look, I see projected winner. All right. I would imagine, and you got the live chat. You see a lot of blue there, no surprise. There's David Mueller's hosting this. I wish they had timestamps. This guy has timestamps. Just wish he added more of it. He's doing the key races. I get it, but preferably, whoops, I think I saw one. Okay, it's starting at
News Live.
Here again, David Mueller.
Welcome back to ABC News Live election night coverage. Now 8:30
Okay,
here.
David.
These polls in Arkansas are now closed as well. They are closed in 3 of the key battleground states. As you know, we're tracking them: Pennsylvania, North Carolina.
Okay, I think it starts here.
Right now, we're also seeing some very early numbers.
Because we're looking at Pennsylvania.
Election night, this is where America turns for
Prime.
At this hour, you can see Pennsylvania. The numbers are not. Numbers start.
You got to be kidding me.
See. We can now declare a winner. ABC News Now projecting that Donald Trump will win the state of Florida.
Okay, I guess they started this night late. This is what it's looking like right now.
So
because if you look, okay, yeah, this is rep. Trump's already at 90 electoral votes. This is 4 minutes in, and they're beginning the intro there. So we're going to wait on David. Let's take a look at we all dread MSNBC. This guy has the battle. Oh wait, hang on. Thank you. Yes, thank you. I'm glad that they're making us. So I hate to.
Moving on.
I dread skipping around to MSNBC. It's just annoying. But let's take a look at what MSNBC.
To Kentucky, where we had some polls close an hour ago, but now the state of Kentucky is closed. There, NBC News projects that Donald Trump has won the presidential election in Kentucky. Moving to the Northeast, to Vermont, NBC News projects that Kamala Harris has won the presidential race in the great state of
Rachel
Vermont.
Maddow.
Moving now to Virginia. NBC News projects that in the state of Virginia, the presidential race is too early to call. Moving now to South Carolina. South Carolina polls are closed, and NBC News projects that it is too early to call. And finally, our last poll closing of this hour is in Indiana. We had Indiana, some polls closed an hour ago. Now the state of Indiana has closed. NBC News projects that in Indiana, the race is too early to call. I will say we are expecting quite a lot of vote from Georgia and most of Florida, even as some of Florida's voting precincts are not closed. We'll get a lot of that vote soon. Right now, in terms of the road to 270, we're very early on that road. Donald Trump with 8 electoral votes and Kamala Harris with 3. Let's take a look at what we've got in the Senate race thus far.
Okay, we don't need to hear about the Senate. Let's see what PBS. No, comments are turned up, darn it. They don't even have the link. Okay, I think they started calling some races. But yeah, 17 minutes in.
Walk us through it.
We do have some more information. Just to reset where we are
They
right
already
now. These
got
are the races that have been called so far in the presidential race. Not a lot of them. Still, many states still voting, of course, but this is where Indiana, Kentucky, Vermont. And if you look at where we are watching closely, as you know, 7 key swing states are Georgia, North Carolina, Pennsylvania, Michigan, Wisconsin, Nevada, Arizona. I said that fast because only one of them has the polls closed right now, and as you say, that's Georgia. So let's take a look at what we know about Georgia right now. We're getting results in. Not a lot, folks.
Okay, so we know that Indiana is closed. But the keynote, we know for sure. We got Kentucky. We got Indiana. They've closed their polls for sure. Indiana is the only state that seems to be in dispute. So starting fresh again.
Votes needed to win. With those early results, the race to 270 show in West Virginia. CBS News projects Donald Trump wins. The former president won the state in 2020, easily winning every county in the states, and he has won again this year. In Ohio, CBS News characterizes Ohio as lean Republican. Remember, Ohio was once a battleground, but it has shifted right over the last few election cycles. Now let's take a look at Indiana. CBS News projects Donald Trump will win the Hoosier state. Remember, that was home to his Vice President Mike Pence. And in the all-important race to 270 electoral votes, Donald Trump currently has 23, and Kamala Harris has still just coming in, as you can see. And we have some breaking results to share with you from the states that just closed. In Florida, once an electoral battleground that has moved right in recent circles, CBS News projects Trump will win the Sunshine State. In Alabama,
this is 8 o'clock, so we'll wait on that. We know we'll just characterize Indiana, West Virginia as holds as of right now, not yet called.
It is now 7:30 on the East Coast. Polls have just closed in 3 more states. North Carolina is the next state to watch, just like Georgia. It came down to the wire in the last presidential election. It has 16 electoral college votes, and it will be a decisive one, potentially. The Fox News decision desk says it's too early to call.
Also, too early to call Ohio, but former President Trump has a lead in our Fox News voter analysis. As we mentioned, we're also watching the Senate race there. Bernie Moreno is the GOP candidate running against Sherrod Brown. And we can say that Fox News does project that Trump will win West Virginia. Not a very big surprise there. Obviously, the former governor, or the current governor, is running for...
Okay, no.
Hey, sorry for interrupting.
You're not sorry. You're taunting that with that skip ads forever? Come on, clown. Come on. I'm in a rush. Okay.
Welcome back. We do have a call to make. The Fox News decision desk can now project that former President Trump will win the state of South Carolina. So we are counting down the minutes to the next poll closing. And there you see the race to 270 ticking up on the former president's side at 32, 3 for Vice President Harris as the states are called. We will continue to see that. And obviously 270 is the magic number.
The moment is here.
Okay, this is 8 o'clock. 8 o'clock closing time, so we'll wait on that. Okay, let's take a look. Indiana was called. Okay, yeah, good thing this guy's calling it. Indiana called for, of course. This is
$7:30 right now, and CNN can make a projection that Donald Trump will win the state of West Virginia. West Virginia and its 4 electoral votes going to Donald Trump. Too early to call. Too early to make a projection in battleground North Carolina with its 16 electoral votes, or in Ohio with its 17 electoral votes. Let's take a look at the electoral map at this hour now that we've called a state for Donald Trump. Donald Trump has 23 electoral votes in the lead of Kamala Harris, who has 3 electoral votes. 270 electoral votes are needed to win the race. Both are far from that. Let's bring you a key race alert now in the battleground state of Georgia. Donald Trump in the lead with 58.1% of the vote. Kamala Harris has 41.4% of the vote. Donald Trump, 69,586 votes ahead. That's with only an estimated 8% of the vote in the state of Georgia. In the Commonwealth of Virginia, Donald Trump in the lead there with 49.6% of the vote. Kamala Harris has 48.8% of the vote. Donald Trump with a 900.
We're just going to continue on. Thanks, Jake Tape, but we need to continue on. This video is going to be long if we look at all the key race alert, but just give me a second. I have bad eyes. I'm trying to see if there's any sort of projection. Usually, like, where's the 7:30 closing time? Okay. Oh wait, I forgot. Yeah, this is 8 o'clock. This is 8 o'clock closings. Yeah, look at David in the helicopter. Looks like he's sleeping. Okay. Let's take a look at MSNBC. Yeah, Indiana was called for just a moment ago. Let's take a look at West Virginia.
7:30, NBC News can also project in the West Virginia presidential contest. In West Virginia, Donald Trump is the winner. West Virginia's presidential race, NBC News projecting that right now for Donald Trump. And in Ohio, NBC News is projecting that in the presidential race, it is too early to call between Kamala Harris and Donald Trump. Looking at the road to 270, we are still just barely on our way. 23 electoral votes.
Sounds very nervous.
With the West Virginia, Indiana, and Kentucky races called for him, and Vermont thus far called for Kamala Harris, 23-3 on the electoral votes. Let's look at Senate and governor's races.
Okay. No, thank you. No, thank you, Rachel. All right. Let's take a look at, how about we take a look at, did we miss anything? No, we skipped it. ABC. Yes, we were looking at, this one's the hard one, PBS, because they have 0 links. We do know for a fact that Georgia closed their polls. We just need to go to the 7:30 closing time for PBS. Oh, wait, here we go. This is
how voters are sort of just looking at just politics overall. Is there's just this, they hate partisanship. And they want to see some folks who are going to talk to the big issues that they care about.
We found it.
Child, let's bring it.
Here we are getting some
good news.
Carolina.
They're looking at North Carolina, meaning that the polling has closed there. Likely, ABC News very likely has called West Virginia already. They don't have the candidates' names on there. So we're calling West Virginia. West Virginia called. Indiana will call it for Trump. South Carolina, they closed their polls. Obviously, that has not been official yet. Now, we are now looking at 8 o'clock, 8 p.m., and let's see what they have to say here.
CBS News projects Trump will win this race. Trump carried Alabama by large margins in the past 2 elections. And in reliably blue Massachusetts, CBS News projects the Vice President, Kamala Harris, will win. Let's take a look now at Maryland. CBS News projects Harris will win there. There's a key Senate race. We'll check in there as well. And Oklahoma, CBS News projects Trump will win. Let's take a look now at Tennessee. CBS News projects Trump will win in the state of Tennessee. The big number we've been talking about, 270 electoral votes. That's the number needed.
Okay, perfect. Thank you.
Is watching.
This is the 8 o'clock polling time. Hurry up, hurry up.
And it is now 8 o'clock in New York. Polls have just closed in over a dozen states. All eyes, of course, are on Pennsylvania, which could be the deciding state in this race. 19 electoral votes at stake. Fox News Decision Desk says that this is obviously too early to call in Pennsylvania, as we will be watching that one really until the bitter end.
So Fox News is projecting that former President Trump will win the state of Florida.
Okay, Florida has been called by 2 networks so far.
Closer to the White House. Too early to call a winner in New Hampshire, where Vice President Harris has an edge.
In Maine, the Fox News Decision Desk says that it's too early to call the statewide race. Maine gives 2 electoral votes to the winner of the state and 1 vote to the presidential winner in each of their congressional districts. Harris will win the 1st district, the rural 2nd district. Too early to call in the state of Maine.
In the Southeast, Fox News can project that Trump will win Tennessee, a longtime Republican stronghold. Not a really surprise there. Further south, the former president will again win Alabama. Big numbers there.
And the former president will win neighboring Mississippi. Trump will cruise to victory in Oklahoma as well, where Democrats haven't won a single county since 2000.
And Missouri will also deliver a win for the former president. Vice President Harris will also take some big victories this hour. The Fox News Decision Desk can project that the vice president will win Illinois.
Okay, this is our map. We're just going to keep it there. They go on and on and on and on and on. Okay, we're just going to leave it there. This is our source. This is CNN. This is Fox News. This is CBS. Never mind. Let's take a look. Let's see what Jake Tape has to say again. Okay, looks like this guy posted. Okay, these are the Senate seats. Okay.
Battleground that could decide the presidential election. And let's bring you some CNN projections. CNN projects that Donald Trump will win the state of Florida.
I'm going to speed it up a little.
Votes, as expected. Donald Trump, CNN projects, will win the state of Tennessee, as expected, with 11 electoral votes. Missouri will go to Donald Trump. Missouri, as expected, will give Donald Trump 10 electoral votes. Here are 2 more projections for Trump. Alabama, CNN can project, will go to Donald Trump with its 9 electoral votes. And Oklahoma, CNN projects, will go to Donald Trump with its 7 electoral votes. We have some projections for Kamala Harris as well. CNN projects the Commonwealth of Massachusetts with its 11 electoral votes. As expected, will go to Kamala Harris. CNN can project that Maryland, as expected, with its 10 electoral votes, will go to Kamala Harris. And CNN can project that the District of Columbia, with its 3 electoral votes, can go to Kamala Harris. Here are the states that where the polls disclose where we are not prepared to make projections. They include Connecticut, Delaware, Illinois, Maine.
Thanks. Okay. This is what the map looks like. Comparing maps here, you'll see Fox News slightly ahead with electoral votes. We're learning a lot, aren't we? I mean, this might be long. Okay, now we're ready to start ABC. David can hop off the helicopter now. You gotta be kidding me. No, we don't need Pandora. Glad we turned off the music. That would be so distractive. Okay. Look at all these feminists. Get them off. Okay. All right. Yes, this is, yeah, they have, okay, yes, here we go. Perfect.
Electoral votes from his home state of Florida, 77% of the vote coming in. Donald Trump also wins tonight Tennessee, 11 electoral votes there. He won it in 2020, wins it again. Missouri, Donald Trump picks up 10 more electoral votes. Donald Trump wins the state of Alabama, 9 electoral votes from Alabama. In Oklahoma tonight, one of the most Republican states in the country, Donald Trump picks up another 7 electoral votes. Vice President Kamala Harris wins in the solidly Democratic state of Massachusetts, 11 electoral votes. Joe Biden, of course, won there, handily by 33 points 4 years ago. Vice President Kamala Harris winning the state of Maryland tonight, 10 electoral votes there. We're going to be watching that Senate race very closely. The District of Columbia tonight, 3 electoral votes. The winner, Vice President Kamala Harris. In Illinois tonight, we're watching the raw numbers coming in. Obviously, too early to call. As soon as we've got numbers on the board, we'll go back to that. 19 electoral votes up for grab. New Jersey, not a winner yet, 14 electoral votes. The polls have just closed in Connecticut as well. They closed in Mississippi. They closed in Maine. And in New Hampshire, a lot of talk about New Hampshire in these recent days. Kamala Harris held a commanding lead in some polls. As it got closer to election day, some of those polls tightened, so there's some interest in New Hampshire tonight. In Rhode Island, they just closed the polls there, 4 electoral votes up for grabs. In Delaware, 3 electoral votes up for grabs. They've just closed the polls there. Let's take a look at the map so far. Kamala Harris winning 3 states in Washington, D.C. Donald Trump picking up 8 states tonight. As you can see, the electoral count.
Thank you, David. Look at this map.
Right there on your screen, 27 to 90 race to 2-7.
This is what it's looking like. BSDNC, let's see. Starting with Florida.
In the state of Florida, NBC News can project that there is a winner. NBC News projects at poll closing in the state of Florida that Donald Trump has won the state of Florida. In the state of Massachusetts, NBC News projects a winner, projects that Kamala Harris has won the state of Massachusetts. In the state of Tennessee, NBC projects a winner, projecting Donald Trump to be the winner in Tennessee. In Maryland, NBC News projects that there is a winner in the presidential race, and it is Vice President Kamala Harris. In the state of Missouri, NBC projects a winner, Donald Trump, projected to win the presidential race in the state of Missouri. In the state of Alabama, NBC News projects the winner of the presidential race is Donald Trump. In the state of Oklahoma, NBC News projects that the winner of the presidential race is Donald Trump. In the District of Columbia, which for some reason is a state, NBC News projects we have a winner. The winner is Vice President Kamala Harris. In the state of Illinois, NBC News projects that it is too early to call. To the northeast, in the state of New Jersey, it is too early to call in the presidential race. In the state of Connecticut, NBC News projects it is too early to call. In the state of Rhode Island, NBC News projects it is too early to call. Down back to the deep south, in the state of Mississippi, NBC News projects it is too early to call. Back up again to the far northeast, NBC News projects that in the state of Maine, it is too early to call. In the always interesting state of New Hampshire, NBC News projects at this hour it is too early to call. And finally, in the home state of President Joe Biden in Delaware, NBC News projects at this hour it is too early to call. So now we head to the overall national map as these candidates try to beat one another to the all-important threshold of 270 elections.
Thank you, Rachel. All right, let's see. PBS. I'm trying to look for an electoral map. Oh, here we go. Perfect. All right.
President Trump with 56, Vice President Harris with 13. In the meantime, PBS News Weekend anchor and our correspondent tonight, John Yang, is out in the field. He's in.
Well, they just added more.
Campuses. In our correspondent Harris with 13.
Perfect. This is, of course, this. Okay, yeah, they're just calling the 8 o'clock closing times. Okay, this is our map. So I was actually hoping we would close the gap in Florida. This is what it's looking like right now, ABC. They haven't projected Massachusetts, so this is what we're projecting. Tennessee, Alabama, that is in favors to Donald Trump. Mississippi, too early to call. Oklahoma, though, we can call that Donald Trump. We can call Maryland for Kamala Harris. Only Maryland, D.C., too close to call. What it's looking like right now, this is what it's looking like through all the sources. Alabama has been called for all of them. Red state, not surprised, but this is what we're looking at right now. Let's see if, did they call, yeah, South Carolina, too close to call, of course, there. We'll go ahead and, so right now, 50 electoral votes, 13 electoral votes for Kamala Harris. This is what our map officially looks like. Looking at the 8:30 closing time of Arkansas,
to win. And so far, with those early results, the race to 270 shows Donald Trump with 90 electoral votes and Kamala Harris with one where the polls just closed in Arkansas. CBS News projects Donald Trump will win in that state. Let's take a look at Missouri. CBS News projects Trump will win there as well.
Okay.
And just in from our data desk in South Carolina, CBS News projects Trump will win also in that reliably red or Republican state. CBS News projects Kamala Harris will win the District of Columbia, where her election night headquarters are. No surprise there. And 3 electoral votes there. And then in the race for the all-important number of 270 electoral votes, Donald Trump is at 100.
Okay, perfect.
19 electoral.
Let's skip. This is when they talk.
Of course,
If you
Trump will win Arkansas. The state hasn't voted for a Democratic presidential candidate since Bill Clinton.
And as you look at the race, it is 9 o'clock in New York.
Okay, they're not calling anything else. Let's go ahead and look at West Virginia Senate, South Carolina. Thank you, mister. Arkansas, they already called South Carolina.
You've read Arkansas, where 6 electoral votes are at stake. And CNN can project that Donald Trump will win the state of Arkansas, as expected. Donald Trump will take home Arkansas's 6 electoral votes. Take a look at the electoral map count now. Donald Trump in the lead with 100.
Perfect. All right, let's see. ABC, this one's a difficult one. Oh, actually, hang on. Actually. No, darn it. You tricked me, sir. Real Z, come on. You tricked me. I thought you were posting me the thing. That's so mean of you. Okay. We're looking at... Oh, look, I think...
no controversy. So very significant, something that they can celebrate. Right after.
Shoot.
Guess what?
Yeah, I agree with this guy. Biased. Yep, this is all his liberal junk is. Yeah, I'm looking down and there's no comments really explaining. Okay, this is just a commercial. All right. Look, electoral map. Okay, perfect. This is, of course, the current situation in regards. Arkansas hasn't closed yet. Let's take a look. Okay. They should be calling it. Very close. Like, right around this. Oh, they have Chris Christie on there? Of course they do. Why? It wouldn't be a thing like without Chris Christie, right? Krispy Kreme. Okay, look at this. Georgia. Oh, look, here's David. Okay. I thought projection. Okay. They just projected Arkansas around this time. Whoops. Projected winner. All right.
Leading by about 100,000 votes. We'll take a deeper dive on North Carolina in just a moment here. In Georgia, 66% of the vote in. And as you look there, Donald Trump leading by about 200,000 votes. That number has been stubborn for the last 30 minutes or so. We'll take a look at the reasons why and where Kamala Harris needs to be performing better. She's going to catch up to Donald Trump in Georgia. In Texas at this hour, we can project. ABC News now projecting that Donald Trump will win the 40 electoral votes of Texas. Donald Trump wins Texas tonight.
Okay,
he also wins North Dakota. 3 electoral votes. That was expected. He won by 33 points
Hang
just
on.
4 years
This
ago.
might be 9 o'clock. Darn it. This is 9 o'clock. This is 9 o'clock calling because North Dakota is a part of the 9 o'clock. Okay, this is what I think I just saw it. Arkansas. Yes, found it. Okay, perfect.
Vote in the state of Arkansas. I want to drill down on Pennsylvania. We're kind of at the big board. And let's pull up some of these counties because we are starting to get additional data. First thing, the collar counties around Philadelphia. There's been so much focus on the suburbs of Philadelphia, whether or not Kamala Harris could pick off some of these Republican women, in particular, independent women. And
we don't care about the collar counties. Okay, Trump is at 105. So is at least picking up like Florida, South Carolina for sure. Looking at, let's take a look. Arkansas.
Closing, NBC News can project that the winner of the presidential contest in Arkansas will be Donald Trump. Exactly right. Floridians for Freedom is the group that worked to get this abortion measure on the ballot. In the last week alone, they have had to...
Okay, we don't care about abortion. All right, yeah. Let's jump all the way, I would say, let's take an estimated guess of a half hour later. That's my guess. PBS. Okay. Patience. Okay. Yeah, they're fiddling around. Okay, they're looking at, okay, it's at least Nebraska. Look, there's their map. Okay, this is 9 o'clock. So I would say, hey, it would be at least... Let's look all the way over here, see if they called anything, like, any call, like, in Arkansas. Okay, this is their map. Okay, this is their Senate map. Never mind. I was like, they didn't call Mississippi. Okay, there we go. Perfect. This is, they originally had projected. Okay, look. There we go.
Asks.
Well, it is a little after 8:30 p.m. Eastern here on the East Coast, obviously. And the polls in Arkansas have closed, and we can now say that the state's 6 electoral votes will go to former President Donald Trump.
Meanwhile, we can also report that Vice President Harris has won the state of New Jersey. Polls there, of course, close at 8 p.m. So here is a quick update. The national electoral map at this point in the race.
Okay, so now they have updated vastly. So looking at our projections, we have to still wait with Mississippi. They refuse to show us Arkansas. Well, they have Mississippi on there also. But we can call Arkansas, though. Arkansas has been called by all 6 stations. We're going very slowly, but eventually we'll catch up. Looking here, Mississippi not called. I think Missouri. Missouri's been called by CBS, Fox News, CNN. Yeah, it had to have been called by ABC. Looking at, they refuse to show us, let's see here. This guy will tell us if it's been called. Missouri, yes, it's been called by MSNBC. It's not been called by PBS. We cannot add that in yet, frustratingly. Tennessee, we've called that already. South Carolina, it's been called already. I think it's been called, of course, by ABC. It's been called in... Okay, wait, hang on. Yeah, it's been called by MSNBC. And yeah, we can call now. We project Donald Trump wins South Carolina. All right, so this is our map so far. Donald Trump advancing pretty quickly. The blue states, obviously, we have a theory. Massachusetts can be called at this hour. Massachusetts, Rhode Island, we want to believe, yes, will be called. No, it can't. No, it can't. We cannot call Rhode Island yet. It's disputed. All right, so this is what it's looking like right now. D.C. still. Is D.C.? Yeah, D.C. is still too close. All right. Too early, in other words. D.C.'s never close. All right. How are we doing on time? Okay, yeah, this is like going to be 2 hours or something. Continuing on.
5, Kamala Harris has 27 at this hour. Just closed. CBS News projects Donald Trump will pick up North Dakota. The former president also projected to win in South Dakota. The Mount Rushmore state is reliably Republican in presidential elections. And in Wyoming, CBS
and
News
everywhere else
projects Donald Trump will win there as well. Let's take a look at the great state of Texas. CBS News projects Donald Trump will win
9 o'clock, by the way.
Texas. We'll have an update on this big Senate race there in just a minute, where Ted Cruz is facing a tough race there. And then Iowa is characterized at this hour as lean Trump. Remember, there had been that stunning poll out of Iowa recently that suggested Kamala Harris gaining ground among older women. And the big number to remember tonight is 270. That's the number of electoral.
Now, look at that lead. This is what it's looking like right now.
There are 15 states have just finished voting. This is the heat of the matter here. The Fox News decision desk says it's too early to call Michigan, one of the 2 battlegrounds in the Rust Belt, that just finished voting, part of that blue wall that we hear about all the time.
The other is Wisconsin, where Vice President Harris and former President Trump appear to be locked in a very tight race. And again, this is too early, not too close, but too early to call many of these races. Arizona also too early to call, as the polls are closing there.
Fox News can project the former President Trump will win Texas. That locks 40 more electoral votes into his column. Former President also has a lead in Iowa. There's no call at the top of the hour here. Remember that Iowa poll had people scrambling there at the Des Moines Register saying it was Harris lead by 3.
Yeah, the same day Emerson had him up by 10, but that got a lot of people's attention because Ann Seltzer is such a well-known and usually correct pollster. So we'll see how how Iowa plays out tonight. In Nebraska, the Fox News decision desk can project that Trump will win the statewide vote. Nebraska gives 2 electoral votes to the winner of the state and 1 vote to the presidential winner in each of their districts. So Trump will also win Nebraska's 1st and 3rd districts. The more suburban 2nd district, Omaha, which is the blue dot that we have talked so much about, that is too early to call, but Harris has a lead there.
The Fox News decision desk can project that Vice President Harris will win New York, giving the Vice President 28 more electoral votes. She also has a lead in Minnesota. Too early to call the state of Minnesota, which closed in recent days, according to the poll.
Obviously, the vice presidential candidate, Tim Walz, from Minnesota, and now Fox News can project a Harris victory in Colorado as well. She gets 10 more electoral college votes there. New Mexico, too early to call, but Harris has a lead, according to our Fox News voter analysis in New Mexico.
Former President Trump will win Louisiana, which has voted for a Republican in every election this century. Pretty sure we were going to get that one. Trump also wins Kansas, adding another 6 electoral votes to his tally.
The former president will win North Dakota, a longtime conservative state as well. He will also take South Dakota, which often mirrors the vote of its neighbor to the north.
And Fox News can project that the former president will win Wyoming, with 3 electoral.
Now project that Donald Trump will...
Okay, that's... Okay, let's take a look at tape again. They just called Louisiana, Illinois, and Rhode Island. We'll take a look at, first off, the poll closing in New York.
We have a projection for you now at home, you people at home. So I can project that New York, as expected, will go to Kamala Harris. Kamala Harris will be the winner of the 28 electoral votes offered from the Empire State. Let's take a look at the electoral vote count now. Donald Trump in the lead, 154. Kamala Harris with 81, 270.
Okay.
To win. Neither of them.
They're calling it what? Okay. When did they? All right. Yeah. Louisiana. They're calling it very, very slowly. They haven't even called Mississippi yet, during 10 o'clock yet. Okay. This is obviously 10 o'clock there. New York. And let's see. New York, Louisiana. Louisiana should be called to...
Now, bring you a projection. And CNN can project Louisiana will go to Donald Trump. Louisiana with its 8 electoral votes as expected to...
We'll go ahead and just use the original map. New York.
And we have a projection for you now at home, you people at home. CNN can project that New York, as expected, will go to Kamala Harris. Kamala Harris will be the winner of the 28 electoral votes offered from the Empire State. Let's take a look at the electoral vote count now.
There we go. All right. Let's jump all the way to David Mueller, David Druller, whatever we like to call you. All right. Why does it have to be so long? Like, okay. I just wish there was... Oh, wait, hang on. Text. Okay, they're starting to call state.
Now projecting that Donald Trump will win the 40 electoral votes of Texas. Donald Trump wins Texas tonight. He also wins North Dakota, 3 electoral votes. That was expected. He won by 33 points just 4 years ago. South Dakota, Donald Trump wins 3 electoral votes. He wins Wyoming tonight. 3 more electoral votes from Wyoming. New York, the polls have closed. We're tracking the numbers coming in from New York at this hour. Minnesota, the polls have closed. In Colorado, the 9 electoral votes up for grabs. Polls have closed there. We'll track it. Louisiana, the polls have closed in Iowa and in Kansas. They closed in Nebraska and in New Mexico tonight. 5 electoral votes up for grabs. We continue to track that as well. Polls have closed in all of those states. Let's go right to the map. The road to 270, which is the road to the White House, as we know. Kamala Harris winning 3 states, plus Washington, D.C. for 27 electoral votes. Donald Trump with 14 states so far, 154 electoral votes. The whole team...
So they haven't called
here. Stay tuned. Our live coverage continues right now.
Thank you, David. So we know that she can't win New York yet. We're going to the top of the hour for... Okay.
Trump, NBC News can also project in Louisiana that the winner of the presidential contest is Donald Trump. A couple of other interesting updates for you. Back to Delaware. This is a historic outcome in a House race. So this
it's so historic, guys!
An at-large House seat. This is an open seat because the incumbent was Lisa Blood Rochester, who just won a U.S. Senate seat in Delaware tonight. When she left that seat and opened it up, the Democrat running for it is Sarah McBride, the Republican running for it is John Whalen. NBC News can project that Sarah McBride has won that seat. And I mentioned that this is a historic win because Sarah McBride will be the first openly transgender...
Okay, we don't need to know. All right, thank you. We do not need to know about that. Okay. I think we know. We all know, Rachel. Mississippi, yes. Or we can just, better yet, look at the map there. But yes, looking at... Here we go. This is our ABC projections here. Looking at the map, we cannot call Delaware still. We cannot call New Jersey still. We cannot call Connecticut or Rhode Island. Ohio, we cannot call Mississippi. Fox News is usually ahead. We cannot call. Okay, this is what it's looking like right now. Missouri looks like it can very well be called. I am taking that, of course, they do not like showing it. No, Missouri has not been called. We will not call Missouri. What we're looking at right now, what we can call North Dakota, South Dakota, Wyoming. This is what it's looking like. Yep. And we'll just say yes. Okay.
Senator member of Congress, and she has just won the seat tonight in Delaware.
Congratulations! Oh, she's so happy.
Say they're states, so it's
all right. Obviously. Okay. So this is what our map is right now. 74-24. Let's take a look at we'll just start off with PBS again. How about that? Get the hard one out of the way, but look at this is our next map here. They added Texas to the ring. They also added Ohio, but then again, that 10 p.m. polling closing time is not in yet. But what we can do is we can go to that 10 o'clock closing time, which is going to take a while, which I imagine it's not going to take. This is ridiculous. Perfect. Yes, here we go. This is 10 o'clock p.m. closing times. This projects Montana, Utah. They are in the ball game. Going to, this is Ohio, of course. I think we're not ready to call that yet. By this time, Fox would have already called it. Looking at
votes, someone needs to win. So far, the race to like New York and CBS News projects New York for Harris, which will add significantly to her electoral vote tally. One of the Major Garrett now, who has new information from the CBS News data desk. Hi there, Major. And CBS News projects Donald Trump will win. And CS News projects the former president will also win in Montana. Montana has voted for a Republican in the last 12 of 13 presidential elections. Key Senate race there. We also are going to be watching closely tonight. And in Delaware, President Joe Biden's home state, CBS News projects Kamala Harris will win in that state. And let's take a look at Illinois. CBS News projects Harris will win there as well. Chicago was home to the Democratic National Convention this summer, where the vice president accepted. Welcome back to CS News coverage of Election Night 2024. Just in from the CS News data, CS News projects Donald Trump will win the state of Ohio, the home of his running mate, Senator J.D. Vance. And in the state of Mississippi.
They're not showing us that map.
And in the hunt for 270.
Here we go. This is the 10 p.m. Map. Let's take a look all the way to ABC. Okay, it's going to take a while. Okay, yeah. Here we go.
Montana, the 4 electoral votes going to Trump there. We're going to watch that Senate race very closely. The Democrat John Tester trying to hold on, and state Trump has now won repeatedly. Colorado, Kamala Harris wins the state of Colorado. 9 electoral votes goes to the vice president. So take a look at the map. The road to 270. Kamala Harris winning 7 states in Washington, D.C. Donald Trump winning 17 states. 172 electoral votes for him, up to 91.
Okay, let's go ahead and take a look at CNN. CNN, you somehow got to MSNBC's last. And they deserve to be. Okay, Montana and Utah.
Now. And CNN can project that Donald Trump will win the state of Montana. As expected, Trump gets Montana with its 4 electoral votes. CNN can also project that Donald Trump will win the state of Utah. As expected, Utah with its 6 electoral votes. Nevada is too early to call. A battleground state that Donald Trump has narrowly lost in the last 2 elections, but is making a big play for this election. Let's look at the electoral math right now.
This is our map, according to CNN. Let's take a look at the boohoo, whining, and crying what MSNBC's doing. Starting off with Utah.
NBC is projecting a winner in the presidential race in Utah. Donald Trump projected to win the presidential race in Utah. NBC News also projecting a winner in the presidential race in Montana. So Nevada too early to call. Trump win in Utah. Trump win in Montana. Looking back at the battleground states that we're still awaiting definitive calls in Georgia, it's too close to call between Donald Trump and Kamala Harris. In Pennsylvania, it's too close to call between Donald Trump and Kamala Harris. In Wisconsin, it's too close to call between Donald Trump and Kamala Harris. In Michigan, say it with me now, it's too close to call between Donald Trump and Kamala Harris. In North Carolina, it is too early to call between Donald Trump and Kamala Harris. And in Arizona, it is too early to call between the two presidential contenders. Let's look at Senate races right now, including in some of the states that...
Oh, thank you. All right, yes, we do not have an electoral map. Hang on. This is, of course, they have the Senate. Okay, look, 201 to 81. This is, of course, what MSNBC is. MSNBC, you're so Trump deranged and you have Trump all the way so high. I think you want him to win so he can unleash the tears. Oh, look, 210. Oh, wait. This is what it's looking like so far. Let's make a projection. Montana. It's looking like, yeah, we can go ahead and make Montana and Utah. Montana and Utah is going to be projected in favors to the former president. What it's looking like, yeah, Louisiana, that is also being called. Also, Louisiana, Mississippi should be called. No, Mississippi will not be called. I'm guessing they're waiting on Mississippi because of the African-American turnout. The left-wingers from ABC, they're wanting to see if African-Americans will turn out and make it. No, it's not. We know that's not going to be the case. Let's see. I think we could go ahead, make the projection of Texas. It's looking like right now every network has, yeah, we can go ahead and make Texas. Florida will be called at this time for Donald Trump at this hour. Missouri, yet again. Okay, Missouri, ABC, PBS has Missouri for Trump. Missouri would be realistically for Trump and Fox News. CBS, Missouri for Trump. ABC, Missouri for Trump. Missouri for Trump and CNN and MSNBC. We're going to call Missouri for Trump now. Okay, so now looking at the numbers here, we're looking at mostly New York. New York ideally should be called at this time for Kamala Harris. Looking here, no surprise here at these maps. New York will be called for Kamala Harris. Get her up there. So let's take a look. So far, those New England states have been called. Yeah, we're going to assume they were called also. Nope. Connecticut, New Jersey, they are too close to call, but Rhode Island is looking like it's a legitimate call there. Yes, we can go ahead and call Rhode Island for Kamala Harris. Delaware, we know that MSNBC has called Delaware. Yes, Delaware was called by Fox. Yeah, we'll call Delaware, Joe Biden's state, for Kamala Harris. D.C. Has not been called by PBS, so that means it cannot be called. Illinois, though, has been called by PBS. Ohio, PBS was called by. Oh, CBS has called Illinois for Harris. Same deal with ABC News. We have, of course, Jake Tapper there. And I can only assume that MSNBC will also call Illinois for, of course, Kamala Harris. So we're looking at, of course, the different said states when it comes to that. We got Missouri called. Nebraska was called. Nebraska cannot be called, unfortunately, for Donald Trump. CBS is being stubbornly resistant of that. Colorado cannot be called at this time. So this is what it's looking like. What about Ohio, you may be wondering? Well, Ohio, obviously Fox News called it. Look at that. CBS has not called. ABC has not called it. CNN has not called it. And obviously, we can only just assume that MSNBC also called it also. So this is what our map is looking like right now. Let's go ahead and jump across the field to our an hour later to the next poll closings. Jump. Okay, perfect.
Our role in fact.
And I'm Jeff Bennett. Call the state of Idaho with its 4 electoral votes for Donald Trump at this hour.
We can also call the state of California, that's gone to Vice President Harris with its 54 electoral votes, as well as Washington State with 12 electoral votes. Oregon, however, is still too early to call, so this is a look at the updated national electoral map. Former President Donald Trump with 214 to fight.
Okay, this is the new map. It's getting closer. That's thanks to Cali.
Will win the state of Ohio 54.9.
We already know that.
Indeed.
Kamala Harris was already projected the winner.
For Vice President Harris, and President Trump did better with non-married men than he did 4 years ago in Virginia, which seems to be a theme that we're seeing in a lot of these states. That all according to the Fox News voter analysis.
Okay.
Fox News projects that the Republican.
All right, let's go ahead.
CBS News projects that Iowa is for Trump, that the former president has won the state of Iowa. You see just a little bit more than half the vote in there. There had been that poll by the Des Moines Register suggesting that she was doing much better than expected, but Iowa, the lively Republican state there, and those 6 electoral, we have results to share. Just in from the CBS News data, CBS News projects Donald Trump will win the state of Kansas. In Ohio, CBS News projects the former president will win there as well. And so here's where we stand in the race to 270. Donald Trump, 207, is closed. In California, Vice President Harris's home state, CBS News projects that she will win there. In Idaho, CBS News projects Trump will win. And over 5 decades, Idaho has supported a Republican for the presidency. And here is where we stand right now in the race to 270.
Look at that map. It's weird with Nebraska not being called, isn't it? It's very weird. All right, let's bounce all the way to those poll closings with ABC. Wait, I just see one. That was Kansas. Okay. That was not the poll closings we're looking for. Of course, they have commercials there. Oh, I just see one. Yep, there we go. Perfect.
D.C., 145 electoral votes. Donald Trump with 23 states, 214 electoral votes, and of course those key battleground states: Georgia, North Carolina, Pennsylvania, Michigan, Wisconsin, all of them. The votes are coming in, and all of those states, it's extraordinarily close. Our coverage of the 2024
Oregon has not been called.
Presidential election, it could last for weeks.
It could last for weeks. You wish, David. All right.
Now Donald Trump.
Let's jump to California.
Electoral votes. Kamala Harris with 81 electoral votes, 270 electoral votes needed to win. Neither of them is there yet. Let's look at the
California. There we go.
54 of the 70 electoral votes at stake this hour. With projection for you now, CNN can project that Kamala Harris will win the state of California with those 54 electoral votes. Not unexpected. Harris will win California. CNN is also projecting that Donald Trump will win the state of Idaho with its 4 electoral votes. So what does that mean for the electoral? Too early to call. We have Washington State with 12 electoral votes and Oregon with 8 electoral votes. Too early to call. Let's go to the electoral map right now. Donald Trump with 211 electoral.
Thank you, Jake. All right. Now it's time for BSDNC.
In terms of our projections here, NBC News can project a winner in the presidential race in California. Kamala Harris, California native, is projected to be the winner of the presidential race in California. NBC News can also project a winner in the presidential race in Idaho. Republican Donald Trump projected to be a winner of the presidential race in Idaho. Up to the Pacific Northwest in Washington State. The presidential race in Washington State projected by NBC News at this hour to be too early to call. Similarly, in Oregon, NBC News says in Oregon the presidential race is too early to call. Let's look at the overall electoral college, the electoral vote.
The first time they've showed it through this whole entire thing. They're so... There we go. 214. Okay, this is what it's looking like right now. All right. 214. It's starting to look the same. It's going to get pretty easier as it goes on. We obviously can project California. Idaho has been gone Republican all the way so far. Nebraska cannot be called, but we're looking at calling Kansas. Yeah, look at here. We can go ahead and call Kansas. Mississippi is looking like we can call Mississippi. ABC has called it. We've been waiting on Mississippi. Are we ready with Iowa? I don't think we're ready with Iowa. I don't think, as far as I'm aware, Fox News has not projected Iowa. Actually, never mind. It doesn't show it, but we'll go ahead and project Iowa, actually. let's go ahead. I think likelihood they did project it there. Obviously, Ohio will be called during this time. Let's go ahead and view. Yeah, it's looking like that. Ohio will be called at this hour. Ohio. 211. Okay, Donald Trump has reached 211 electoral votes. Good sign for him. Some sources have called New Jersey. New Jersey has not been committed to for everyone, obviously. Same deal with Nebraska. All right, so what about Colorado? Colorado has been called by a lot of stations, and what it's looking like right now is we're very well, yeah, we'll call Colorado. Colorado goes to Kamala Harris at this time. Okay, so looking here, we got Iowa. Okay. This is what it's looking like right now. New Mexico cannot be called. Yep, this is what it's looking like. What about Connecticut? Can Connecticut be called? Connecticut cannot be called. Okay. It should be easier throughout the night, but this is what it's looking like right now. 211 to Harris's 142. Let's go to the next poll closing. That is obviously going to be Hawaii, and I would assume that is an hour. Okay, this is when they're talking about. Okay, they just called Hawaii, obviously. So let's go back a little bit. Maybe they just called it. I do not know. See, Hawaii is clearly blue there. This is, of course, the Senate map for PBS. I want to see an electoral map. I know they're not always crazy of showing it up all the time. PBS, however, has been doing very well with that. Okay, this is what it's looking like right now. This is with Hawaii called. Obviously.
Kansas will take control of the United
loses at last.
He went.
Okay, well, we're going to wait with Fox.
51 seats, which shows Donald Trump with 211 electoral votes and Kamala Harris with 145. A number of states still to be called. Thank you so much for your time. And we have a CBS News projection for the battleground state of North Carolina and its 16 electoral votes. We can project that Trump will win North Carolina. That was a very...
Have they called?
And it's
hang on.
CBS News
Okay, yeah, they already got that down. Let's go ahead and look at... Okay, looks like... Let's see. North Carolina, of course. Ohio was already called, according to this guy.
We do have a state to call. This is a big one. It's North Carolina. 16 electoral votes go to former President Donald Trump. He has won the state of North Carolina tonight. Let's get right over to Rick Klein at the board. Let's show our viewers how this played out. North Carolina now in Donald Trump's column. We can start doing these hypotheticals. Sort of the rest of the pathway to get to 270.
Yeah, this is the first major battleground state that has been affected by ABC.
Okay, we don't care.
Electoral votes. That leaves him the opportunity to win.
We really don't care. What's your name? Obviously, you're not David Mueller, but you sure look like him. But hang on. I thought I just saw a check mark. I want to go back to that check mark. Okay. That's Connecticut. You just projected Connecticut for her now? Yeah, they must have been seeing something. They usually see something. Hang on. Georgia, too close. Wait, hang on. Did I just see a check mark? No, that was just something on the screen. Okay. This is what it was like. But going like the next poll closing, I would say that's going to be like 4. Oh, here we go. There we go. Yes, there we are. there we go. They just called Hawaii there. Let's go ahead and jump to Hawaii. It's 12 p.m. We can officially say 12 p.m. On that night. So Hawaii.
Or are on the line right now. The polling places are about to close in Hawaii, and we project Kamala Harris will win the state of Hawaii with 4 electoral votes. Not a surprise. Hawaii, reliably Democratic vote, but that doesn't mean a pickup of 4 electoral votes for Kamala Harris. Donald Trump has 230. He is 40 votes away from winning. Kamala Harris has 169 electoral votes. She is 100 away.
Yeah, you'll see North Carolina's already in the favors. Jump into, yes, we're going to Hawaii again.
In the presidential race in the state of Hawaii. Right? Yes, there it is. In terms of the road to 270, those 4 electoral votes from Hawaii make the road to 270 look like this. Trump right now standing at 230 electoral votes. Harris standing at...
Look at that. You'll see. It's weird to see Virginia, not New Jersey called, isn't it? So, yeah, there's the map here. Let's get started. We're ready to project. Yeah, ABC projected Nebraska. CNN has projected Nebraska. We're looking at projecting Nebraska. All right, yes, we're ready to project Nebraska. The second district, however, just kind of tossed up here. What it's looking like right now, we are looking at projecting Oregon, Washington. Obviously, Hawaii will join with Kamala Harris there. New Mexico. It's looking like, okay, it's too close to call as of right now. New Jersey, too close to call. Michigan, Wisconsin, Minnesota, Virginia, still too close to call. Along with Connecticut, we know that that station has called it, MSNBC, that has too close to call as of right now. This is what we're looking at. It's North Carolina ready to call. I don't think is it ready? Are we ready? I think we're ready. Actually, yes, we're ready to call North Carolina. North Carolina, Donald Trump, already taking a commanding lead. Virginia, let's see if Virginia has been called by most. Nope, Virginia is not ready. Along with New Mexico, Maine, yeah. I think it's starting to look like that map. I cannot promise that the first district is going in favor for Kamala Harris either. So let's go ahead and jump to, let's just jump to the next poll map here. And we'll start making calls from there. Okay. So change.
Alaska goes to Donald Trump. That's the expectation. It has not been called yet, but just gaming out where we are in this moment. So that would get him to 250.
Okay.
Also, Maine's 2nd district, that's a place where he's leading right now.
Georgia has been called by CBS. They just said Alaska was not called.
Which is enough for judge. Is it last time?
All right. Georgia has been called. Georgia actually was called by
projection for the battleground state of Georgia, and it's 16 electoral votes. We can project that Donald Trump is the projected winner in the state of Georgia at this hour. Our first projected winner of the night, Georgia, for Donald Trump. The first flip. As we know that Joe Biden won Georgia 4 years ago. That's significant.
Yeah, and I can give you a little taste of why that is if you look at the exit polls for Georgia.
Election denier.
That Donald Trump performed well with. The first is independence. He won 54 to 43.
CBS News at this hour projects Kamala Harris will win this.
Okay, we're too late. We'll wait on Minnesota.
Of a Western path, if she can piece together Arizona and Nevada, that could offset one of these losses, but not a Pennsylvania loss. And she would then need to be able to carry the other battlegrounds or the other blue wall states.
Forgive me for asking the question again, but this is what I think the viewers at home want to know on really both.
David, are you ready?
This is a big one. Georgia, and as we heard from the Secretary of State earlier, forecasted this moment, 16 electoral votes going to former President Donald Trump. He wins the key state of Georgia. He lost it to President Biden 4 years ago by about 11,000 votes.
I'm sure he's
he was
happy to bring
that
up.
That state back. He has done exactly that tonight. A margin about 100,000 votes or so between him and Kamala Harris. This is a big win.
Yeah, it's huge, and it changes the electoral map in a very significant way now. Because if you now can put both of those southern states in the Trump column, this puts all of the pressure now on Kamala Harris to run the table in the upper Midwest. She will absolutely need to win Pennsylvania, in addition to most likely Michigan and Wisconsin. Right now, the 538 chances, just based on these states, and it doesn't take into account the margin in the other states, an 80% chance of a Trump victory. And if you're just looking at the pure math right now, if you flip Pennsylvania to Trump, that's 270 electoral votes right there. If you put this back here, give him a Wisconsin and a Michigan, that gets you to 270, or Michigan plus.
Okay, we gotta go back again. Georgia.
This is a big one, Georgia, and as we heard from the Secretary, 1,000 vote.
Yeah, it's huge, and it changes. Can now put both of those southern states in the Trump column. This puts all of the pressure now on Kamala Harris to run the table in the upper Midwest. She will absolutely need to win Pennsylvania, in addition to...
Okay, there we go.
It's a realignment. This isn't a victory because of better mechanics or, Trump had a better ground game. This is a matter of people making a decision, whether you're black, white, Hispanic, Asian in this country, that you were tired of the open border. You were tired of hearing about how the economy
just thought
is great.
It was funny that you had to list all the races down. Okay. This is what it's looking like right now. Georgia very likely to go.
101 votes away from the 270.
Let's go ahead and project the next state. Yes, you'll see New Georgia. I think. Oh yeah, they projected Virginia. Virginia is technically next.
We have a projection, John. CNN can project that Kamala Harris will win the Commonwealth of Virginia. Yeah, Commonwealth of Virginia with its 13 electoral votes will go to the Democrat. But
we are not ready to call Georgia yet, unfortunately. Georgia was called.
The second time this evening, NBC News is able to make a projection in a battleground state. NBC News now projects that in the battleground state of Georgia in the presidential race, Donald Trump has prevailed in the presidential race in Georgia. So again, of our swing states, we've got two called thus far, Georgia and in North Carolina, per NBC News. That puts the electoral map at Donald Trump of 246 electoral
I did
votes,
not.
and Kamala Harris at 108.
Thank you. All right. This is what it's looking like right now. No real calls. But there's a big chance we can call Connecticut. Connecticut. It's looking like, did we call?
Vice President Kamala Harris. What does that mean for the electoral math? Let's take a look. With 270
Nope,
electoral votes.
we cannot call Connecticut. Yeah, they're just like New Jersey, just too close to call. Projecting the next state, that is, we already got. This is the House of Representatives. Okay, there we go. All right.
And everywhere else, Arizona.
They just called New Jersey.
Michigan.
Maine's first. Okay, look. They just projected Donald Trump the winner. That is, they counted Alaska. We are not ready to count Alaska yet.
For some reason, that number sticks in my mind. And this is a big win. He went there, campaigned there, and so did Vice President Harris numerous times, thinking that Georgia could stay in the Democratic column.
He had a...
Is this a call?
Yeah, I like that. It's a very famous.
CBS News at this hour projects Kamala Harris will win the state of Minnesota, home to her running mate, Governor Tim Walz. CBS News also projects that Harris wins New Jersey. Several states voted on reproductive rights this election. Headquarters, CBS News can project Republican Deb Fischer will win re-election in the state of Nebraska, and that means we can now project that Republicans got up to be named the next president. Officially reached the
for Republicans
about.
Okay, we got Pennsylvania down. All right.
When you didn't feel it, you're tired about the sanctuary cities. You're tired about all of these things that, some of...
Next up, Pennsylvania.
Here's the call of the night. We can project now that Pennsylvania, the biggest battleground prize of the night, will go to former President Donald Trump. ABC News can now project that Donald Trump has won the 19 electoral votes in the state of Pennsylvania. We had said for many weeks leading up to this election.
Look at all blue still.
State for both Kamala Harris and for Donald Trump. ABC News now projecting Donald Trump wins the state of Pennsylvania. Rick Klein, take us to the board. That essentially gets him the presidency, although we have not called what he absolutely needs to get there, right? But you see the math on the board, check out through it.
I want to be careful with the math here. That gives us, according to ABC News projections, 265 electoral.
Oh, perfect. This is our glorious map. New Jersey still called too close, obviously. Pennsylvania likely to be called now.
When Donald Trump is only 40 behind that with 230. Kamala.
But good news. We are likely to call Georgia.
That's right. We have another major projection for you now. And CNN can project that Georgia will go to Donald Trump. Georgia, a very highly contested battleground of 16 electoral votes. This is the second of 7 battleground states that we have called, and both of them have been for Donald Trump. Let's take a look at what that means for the electoral math. Donald Trump right now has 240.
Yeah. Let the tantrums begin. Let's take a look at New Mexico.
In New Mexico, there is a winner, and the winner is Democratic Vice President Kamala Harris. When the Trump campaign was getting very, very, very cocky about how they were going to do tonight, they started talking about expanding the map, expanding to Virginia. If they lost tonight, Kamala Harris, they talked about expanding the map to New Mexico, where they sent Donald Trump in the closing days. Now NBC News projects they have lost New Mexico to Kamala Harris.
You lost Georgia and North Carolina, lady. Come on, Rachel. All right, yeah, we're done with this. We gotta wait.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are now projecting that Donald J.
Whether Donald Trump has officially reached the threshold to be named the next president.
Yep.
Officially.
CBS is the second to call it. What we can do is call Georgia. Georgia is done. What we're looking at now, Pennsylvania, we're possibly going to call. Look at this.
6 electoral votes. Kamala Harris right now has 182 electoral votes. There are 270 needed to win. As of right now,
we are not ready yet. But almost. Almost, guys. All right, this is what we're looking at right now. So, looking at, of course, we're not going to move forward yet, but we can do.
In Wisconsin, and that's it. So I just want to stress to our viewers the importance of watching that state, and undoubtedly it's one reason that the AP is being so careful. Having interviewed them, I know that they spend even more time as the states get higher, looking through everything. They do the opposite of rushing once they get closer to these important calls. As for Pennsylvania itself, where are we? Still 94% of the electoral expected to vote, and we're still at about 200. We've got a few thousand votes in, not very much since I last talked to you, but still, Kamala Harris has to find 200,000 votes.
Okay, they haven't called it. Never mind.
Spots where she can go. As I said, in Philadelphia, she's still got 95% of the vote in. There we go, Chester.
And they're actually almost done with the stream. They're actually viewing the Trump speech, but you could go as far as saying that they called this race already. I don't see electoral map or anything. Oh, up. There we go. Oop. This is what it's looking like. They would call Minnesota next. But we gotta wait on that too.
Reached the threshold.
Yep.
To be named the next president-elect of the United States. We have not heard from Vice President Kamala Harris. Her campaign co-chair spoke to supporters saying, "Go."
She bailed out
for the night, and CBS News now projects that Donald Trump is the winner in Wisconsin.
Votes for Donald Trump, and I want to then play things through a little bit and make the assumptions, and they are assumptions, but this is how things work in politics. If everything falls into place for the some of the remaining places, Alaska with the 3
Let's go ahead. I'm going to go ahead and speed things up. Break the rules a little bit, I think, here. I think we can go ahead and make the projection in the following states. What's looking like right now? We got
electoral votes. It would be a shock if Alaska did not land for Donald Trump. One of the congressional districts in Nebraska where he's currently leading, he's already been awarded one of them, and one of the congressional districts in Maine. This is what.
Okay, we don't need to zoom in. All right, Virginia, we can call you now for Kamala Harris. New Mexico, Kamala Harris. And we can go ahead and project Pennsylvania, Donald Trump. It's pretty much over now. Looking at Connecticut, we are very well considering Connecticut. Very well in the Kamala Harris pile. Yep, ABC has called it for her.
CNN is not ready to of 7.
Of course they're not
Obviously,
ready.
the blue wall states, as you were saying, are crucial.
And this is a flip because in
New
2020,
Jersey.
Joe Biden.
Thank you so much, and we have a major projection. CNN projects that Donald Trump will win with those 19 electoral votes.
They haven't even called Connecticut.
Donald Trump is within spitting distance. Votes 270 are needed to win. John King, Donald Trump is within a hair's breadth.
He's leading here.
All right. Yeah, we cannot call Connecticut yet. We can go ahead and look at Minnesota. Minnesota looks like it's going to be called next. The live results here. Yeah, let's go ahead. New Mexico. Let's see. This is, of course, New Mexico, Pennsylvania, Nebraska. Nebraska's second. Trump speech, New Jersey. Of course, his speech, not all the networks have called him the winner, but, you know, he speaks at his own time. Pennsylvania, we already looking at the outcome here. It's crashing. Of course, we're experiencing difficulties. Yes, this is what we're looking at. Minnesota, we're going to call it Minnesota. We can go to PAMN.
For the presidential race in the great state of Minnesota, NBC News projects that Minnesota has been won by Vice President Kamala Harris. So Donald Trump, at this hour, Donald Trump has 266 electoral votes.
They know it's over.
204 electoral votes. The speech that Donald Trump just gave was essentially a victory speech. At this point, NBC News has not projected a winner in this race. Obviously, it's a lead for Donald Trump with victories in the swing states of Georgia and North Carolina.
All right, so we're going to call Nebraska second. Also a win for Harris. Nebraska second. All right, so along with Maine's first. I think that's fair, too. Go ahead and give her Maine's first. But, yes, this is what it's looking like. Let's go ahead and take a look at...
somewhere, and that somewhere is the state of Alaska, which has 3 electoral votes. And should those electoral votes be called for former President Trump, then he will get the votes he needs. Should any of these states go for former President Trump, then he will be called as the next president.
They haven't even... they ended the stream without even calling her. Yeah, they haven't even called her yet. We can get rid of PBS. How about that? PBS hasn't called it. What we can project is... Yeah, we already know that. Wisconsin is most likely coming in next.
States. We have not heard from Vice President Kamala Harris. Her campaign co-chair spoke to supporters saying go home for the night. And CBS News now projects member of president of the...
This is what it's looking like right now. We'll keep it like that.
What we're looking at, that would be...
Let's see the map. Oh, look. Here we go. Okay. Nope. Yeah. They haven't even called. Yeah, New Jersey looks like it's going that direction.
Projection. We do have breaking news. CNN is ready to make a projection in New Jersey. CNN now projects that Vice President Harris will carry the state of New Jersey. You can see she's some 200,000 votes ahead right now. Less than 5 points ahead. She will get New Jersey's 14 electoral votes. What's surprising is that it's taken us until, 4:35 a.m. Eastern time to call New Jersey. It's stunning, in fact, that it has taken this long. One of the biggest surprises is how well Donald Trump has done in some of the bluer states that we're used to. We will talk about that extensively, but right now, Kamala Harris, we do project...
Yeah, we project you the winner. All right. Let's see. Yeah, we can go ahead and call Connecticut and New Jersey for Kamala Harris. And I think it's time for us to announce the hour. We can now project Donald Trump, the President of the United States. President-elect. And what are we doing? D.C. Okay, we forgot about D.C. But this is what our map looks like officially. Now, this is how the rest of the night looks like. We can officially take out Fox News. Fox News can leave. CBS can also leave. When it comes to projecting, let's see. Let's go ahead and look at. Whoops. Yep. They just called it.
Will be the next president of the United States, and part of the path that he built along the electoral map is this blue wall that the Democrats were convinced would be Kamala Harris's best route to the presidency. Donald Trump winning Pennsylvania, and now he has won Wisconsin, he won North Carolina and Georgia, and a number of other battlegrounds are still being counted where he holds.
Yeah, they just called
Carolina and Georgia, and the number of other battlegrounds are still being counted where he holds lead.
They just called New Hampshire.
Will win New Jersey and its 14 electoral votes, just in terms of where that puts the electoral map right.
New Hampshire. Yeah, let's go ahead and project New Hampshire. That's for Kamala Harris. Maine second. And by this time, the night is pretty much over. And this is, if you guys can all remember, this is exactly what it looked like. I don't think MSNBC has Alaska. I don't think CNN had Alaska. I think some of them had Alaska. But yeah, we'll call Alaska just in case. But yes, Michigan would be called the next day. And then for a couple days, Arizona, Nevada, they take a while to count their votes. Okay? So honestly, you don't get a result from them until randomly, I think Arizona, I don't know if it was Arizona. It really did depend. There were some sources I think did Fox News call it? I doubt it. I don't know. I think the New York Post called it. Arizona and Nevada, they're called randomly at different days, but we already know right immediately after that day that Donald Trump would win those states pretty easily. So anyway, that is election day, the exact timeline, and we did it an hour and a half. This video is coming out tomorrow. It is 10:30 p.m. at night. And yeah, it's been a long time. But yeah, I want to thank you all for watching this video. We ran into some close calls with the computer. It's crashing periodically. So we're going to go ahead and call it a night tonight. Anyway, what do you guys think in regards to our video? Let me know down below. And as always, I'll see you all in the next political episode.